Hey everybody, Kristen from A Mindful Mom. As you know, I believe homemade is best, but it doesn't need to be complicated. And today I'm going to share with you a new way to make pot roast that is going to be absolutely delicious. You guys have been longtime fans of my Papa's pot roast, and for good reason. I use this horseradish, and that's the secret to adding incredible flavor and to tenderize our beef. Well, today we're going to trade in our horseradish for some pepperoncini peppers, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to help tenderize our beef. They're going to add a tangy, zesty flavor instead of a rich, savory kind of almost spicy flavor that the horseradish adds. And then we're going to season it up with some homemade spices that is going to make it absolutely dance with flavor. You guys are going to love this, and it's so easy to make. So let's get cooking. Hit saute on your Instant Pot and add in about a half a tablespoon of oil to your inner pot and let that heat. While the oil is heating, season up 3 pounds of chuck roast, which is a really marbled cut of beef and will really become tender. You can use bottom round roast, but it won't be quite as tender. And I really recommend cutting your roast into about half-pound pieces each. That'll help really speed up the cooking process, help the meat to become tender, and really infuse it with flavor. Season the other side with salt and pepper, and then let that sear for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. Just walk away, let it be, and come back to it. Sear it for another 4 to 5 minutes, and then once it's nice and golden brown on each side, remove your seared pot roast to a plate, and then look at all those brown bits. You know the drill. We've got to remove those by deglazing our pot with a little bit of thin liquid. I'm using about a half a cup of beef broth here. And you want to scrape all those brown bits off the bottom of the inner pot. Don't forget to hit cancel on your Instant Pot to turn off the saute function. Scrape that up until all those brown bits are removed. It might take a minute there. And then you want to nestle your seared beef back inside your Instant Pot. And be sure to add any cooking liquid that may have accumulated on your plate back into the inner pot. That's a lot of flavor right there. Now for our seasoning mix, instead of using packaged seasonings, I'm just combining 2 tablespoons of dried onion flakes, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of dill, 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, a half a teaspoon of pepper, 1/8 a teaspoon of basil, and 1/8 a teaspoon of celery seed. And what that's going to do is it's going to mimic the flavors of dried onion soup mix and ranch seasoning mix without MSG and a crazy amount of sodium. You want to add that to your pot roast, and then you also want to add in the remaining 3/4 cup for a total of 1 1/4 cup of low sodium beef stock. Top our pot roast there with about 9 to 10 pepperoncini peppers and 1/4 cup of the juice from the jar of the peppers. I'm also dolloping this with about 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Pop the lid on the Instant Pot, be sure your venting knob is pointed towards sealed, and cook for 45 minutes on high pressure. Once the cooking time has elapsed, allow pressure to release for at least 10 minutes on its own. Super important to keep that beef tender. Then you want to open up your Instant Pot, remove your beef to a platter. This beef is super tender. It just shreds super easily with 2 forks there. And once that's shredded, I'm going to mix it back into my liquid so that I can serve it with all that delicious cooking juices. It was so easy to make, and it's a great play off my Papa's famous pot roast. But let me go in for a taste here so you guys, I'm going to tell you just how good it is. It's zesty, it's tangy, it's a little bit creamy, it's a little bit sweet. It's absolutely delicious. You guys are gonna love this recipe, and you can find the full recipe on amindfulmom.com. You can check out my next recipe where I share with you my Papa's famous pot roast. Until next time, happy cooking.